Hello and welcome to another video from Midas Touch Toys, Games and Collectibles. And today we are looking at something that is incredibly old, very, very rare, but incredibly exciting. We are looking at the 1965 release by Bell Toys from their Doctor Who and the Daleks series of action toys. And this particular item we're looking at today is of the Dalek Oracle. Now, the Dalek Oracle was basically a rebranding of the magic robot, which gave you all sorts of general knowledge questions, and you put your robot on one side of the board. He has pointed him to the question you want the answer for, then you picked him up and put him on the other side of the board, and he span round and gave you the answer. So basically, this is the same game, but this is the Dalek version. Okay, and this is the box it comes in. And it says, featuring the BBC TV series Doctor Who. And it's got BBC TV 1965 copyright. And it's got the Dalek Oracle. And there you can see images of many Daleks. You've got a couple on their hoverboards up back here. This is before we knew they could hover themselves. They used to have to fly on hover boards. And you've got 4 Daleks on the ground there. And it says, you ask the question, the Dalek answers. It's a quiz game for all the family, made in England. And it's got the Bell Toy logo and a Bell Toy at the bottom there. Okay, I don't think there's anything printed on the back, as there never was on these particular... No, there's nothing on the back, so there never was. If we just have a look at the side, I'm just going to... I don't know if I can... yeah, there we go, so we can see it there. So it says Dalek Oracle Quiz Game. And on the end of the box, you've got the same again. It just says Dalek Oracle. And on this one, again, you've got Dalek Oracle Quiz Game. And on the other end, again, you've got Dalek Oracle. Okay, so that is the box. Now, the reason I've got this up at an angle is because what you see on the inside. So this is not a board game as such. This is a quiz game, a general knowledge quiz game. And I want you to get a really good view of this game as I open it up and we look inside. So let's do that right now. Okay, so I've opened the box and this is what we got inside. Now, those of you that are familiar with the Magic Robot game, you'll recognise this because you've got all the questions on one side and you've got the answers on the other side. You've got a section there where you put your robot, your Dalek in, turn him to the question you want, then you pick him up and put him on the mirror and he spins round and gives you the answer to the questions. Now, I'm going to try and do this at an angle because it's easier to see from where the camera is. If I can't get it to work properly, I'm going to have to lay it on a flat surface. But let's try it like this. But first of all, there we have the Dalek. And what a lovely looking Dalek that is. So he's complete with all 3 of his appendages. So he's got his eye stalk, his gun and his sucker. Now, they don't really move very well. Oh, that does go up and down a little bit. I don't want to press too hard on them because I don't want to damage them. But they are supposed to be stuck in one position, which is what they are. Size-wise, let's give you an idea of the size of the Dalek. So we're looking at a height of 3 inches, which is about 8 centimetres. Across the bottom of the body is about 4 centimetres, I would say there, and across the top there is about 1 centimetre. And if we measure from the arms to the back, we're looking at about 5 centimetres. So he's not a hugely large Dalek, but he's there for a purpose, and the purpose is to give us the answers to the questions. So there's a little cut, I think you can just see that. There's a little cut there in the board. I'll just zoom in closer there so you can just see that little cut there, and there's a little mark on the front of the Dalek, and he sits in there. Okay, so once he's in position there, you can then turn him to whatever question you want to ask. So how about we go to, let's spin it right round and go how did the Daleks build their flying machines? Okay, so we've gone right way around to the other side. If we pick him up and put him on the mirror, oh no, it's not going to work. That's unfortunately because it's at an angle. He's sliding off. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to lay the board down and try and angle the board and the camera so that we can see it from a better angle. Okay, so I've laid our board flat now, so you can now see that it's flat on the surface, and you can see now that I've got my Dalek, and the question he's pointing it to is how did the Daleks build their fighting machines? Okay, so that is where his appendages are pointing to, and if I pick him up and put him onto the mirror, he's spun round and he's pointing to by thought beams, and that's the answer to that question that we've just asked. Incredible how it works. Let's find another question. Let's pop him back in. Where is he? So he lines up on there. Let's put him back to the front. Okay, well, as he's pointing that way, it says what powered the Daleks, and let's move him over there, and it is static electricity. There we go. I mean, this Dalek is very clever. Let's go again. Let's ask him another question. Let's say, what were the two small lights on top of the casing for? Okay, can you just see that? And I'm going to pick him up, pop him back down on the mirror, and it says used by the Daleks when speaking. Absolutely phenomenal. The questions are right every single time. You get the right answers. But this is not just Dalek information. So there is 8 different boards here. So we've got this one, which is the Daleks, and we turn it over the other side, and it's all questions about the Earth. So let's pick a question on the Earth here. Pop him in here. Let's, as it's easier that way. How long is a sidereal day? Is the question we're asking there. How long is a sidereal day? And if I pop him onto the other side, I've actually slipped him then. So let me put him back into position there. How long is a sidereal day? And it is good. And it's 23 hours, 56 minutes, 4.0996 seconds. There we go. That's how long a sidereal day is. You can see he's pointing to the answer just there. Okay. So that is one of the other boards, which is the Earth. And if I take that one away, the next one underneath is general knowledge, and then we've got some general knowledge questions. So let's ask him a general knowledge question. How much does a gallon of distilled water weigh? 10 pounds. There you go. Here's the answer. These Daleks are absolutely general knowledge at the best. They would beat the chasers hands down every time. Okay. So why is a rifle rifled? Okay. I actually moved that then when I proved that. Why is a rifle barrel rifled? To impact a twist to the bullet so it will fly true. Oh, there we are. I never knew that, but obviously the Dalek did. Okay, so that is, well, if we turn that one over, and on this side we have got the compass and magnetism. So let's ask him a question on that. So let's say, what is a binnacle? It's the pedestal or box in which the compass is mounted. There you go. I didn't know that was what it was called. There's your answer. Okay, so that is the section number 2 questions. Then we go on to number 3. And this one is entitled electricity. And again, if we put the Dalek in, where is he? There we go. So his little slot lines up. And let's put him on, what is a unit of resistance called? Pop him on there, and it is called an ohm. It's got to be an ohm. That's exactly what he's telling you. It's an ohm. So there we are. He knows all about electricity. And if we turn that one over, what have we got next? Next we have got science. Okay, this will be a good one, as the Daleks are all scientific. So, what were the 4 basic elements of the ancients? Fire, water, earth, and air. So that's where he's pointing. So there we go. I mean, it's just it's incredible. Well, it's I say it's incredible. The Dalek is getting the answers right every time, and he will not get one wrong if you line him up correctly and you switch him into the right position. He will not get one wrong. Okay, and the last one is of space. So again, the Daleks are from space. So let's pop him into the position there, and let's move him round to say here. How far approximately is a light year? Oops, I haven't got him in there properly. So let's. How far approximately is a light year? So a light year is, oh my God, 600 million miles by the looks of that. I think that's 600 million or 6,000 million, something like that. But that's a bloody long way. But he knows exactly how far a light year is because he travels them regularly. Okay, and if we turn that over to the last one, because there's 8 altogether, and the very last one is called flying, and obviously the Daleks know all about flying. So let's have a question on flying. Let's line Mr. Dalek up. There we go. What is that? What is the purpose of a pilot of a pitot head? To measure the speed of a plane through the air. Pitot head. Okay, there we go. I didn't know that. I didn't even know what a pitot head was, but there I do now. Okay, so that is the game. Well, as with the magic robot, and just underneath there, you can see you've got the mirror and you've got the housing which holds them together, and then you've got the 4 sheets which are double-sided. So you've got the 8 different questions and answer sheets, so you can have a great quiz with your friends and family, which is what we used to do when we were kids, when we had these. Okay, it's quite simple the way it works. The questions are all laid out in the positions. The Dalek has magnets in them. You turn the Dalek round to this point, knowing that when you put him on here, he's going to shoot round to the right point. It's a basic concept. And it's why they can't get them wrong, because if you hold him in the right position, put him onto the other side, he will spin round to the right answer. And that's quite simply because of the way he's on the bottom there. So whichever way, where that point is where he will end up pointing. So that's basically how it works. It's very, very clever, and there's no batteries involved, and it's all done with a magnet in the bottom there. Okay, let's just do it one. What powered the Daleks? Pop him over there. Static electricity. So you can see that the point has gone straight to that particular answer because that's where it's supposed to be. So if we put it there, what were the 2 small lights on top of the Dalek casing for? And that says used by the Daleks when speaking, and you can see again that the point has gone in the same direction. So there we are. Basically, that is how it works. Okay, terrific game. We spent a lot of time going through it. It's such an enjoyable game. You do get hooked on it, thinking, oh, how the hell does he know all these answers? But obviously it's simple. When you know how it works, it's quite simple. And it was all the same design as the Magic Robot. Those of you that can remember the Magic Robot, this basically is the Doctor Who Dalek version of that game. Okay, How well did they do? Well, you got to remember that when these released, you were at the height of Dalek Mania. Dalek Mania swept the nation in such a massive, massive way. There was so much Dalek merchandise being produced, much more Dalek merchandise than Doctor Who, to be fair, to be honest. There was so much of it being produced because everybody, all the kids of the 1960s, they were all Dalek Mania. So there was Daleks everywhere. There was so much old Dalek merchandise produced. There was Daleks, there was talking Daleks, there was Dalek ray guns, there was lots of Dalek, Dodge the Dalek game, there's loads and loads of games that were produced, loads and loads of items, I should say, that were produced back in the 60s during that hype of Dalek Mania. So yes, these items sold phenomenally well. Now, obviously 1965, we're talking nearly 60 years ago when this was produced. And it wasn't produced for very long. I'm pretty certain they only released them for a short amount of time in 1965. I don't think any more were produced after 65. So you can imagine next year will be 60 years since these were produced. And these particular games, they were never made to last. These were made for the kids to enjoy, teaching them, learning about the world around you with the questions and the answers. And once they finished, you know, it's only paper, it's only a magnet and a bit of cardboard and a mirror and a bit of plastic. So, you know, after X amount of playing with them, they ended up being thrown away, or they would go to a jumble sale. But they'd end up being, you know, broken, torn, thrown away. With Daleks were quite notorious. These particular Daleks are quite notorious for their appendages to be broken. So then it was a little bit more difficult to see where the robot was pointing, where the Dalek was pointing, because without the appendages, you had to know where they were. So you had to look at the front of the Dalek where the holes were, where the appendages would have been, to know where he's pointing. And it was not too different for the magic robot. In actual fact, his stick that he used to hold out and point to the right question and answer. The same thing with him. They would quite often break, and then, you know, it was difficult for him to know what he was pointing at, what questions and answers he was pointing at. And this was no different. So lots of them got broken, damaged, torn, ripped, and so they didn't survive the test of time. Very few of them nowadays have survived. So, with all that being said, do they come up for sale very often on the platforms? Well, they don't very often. You do occasionally see one come up. And you usually find that something's missing from the box. They haven't got all the pages, or some of the pages are torn, or the Dalek's missing some of its appendages. The instructions are not there. In fact, the instructions are not in this one, but that's not really too much of an issue, because the game pretty much is self-explanatory. Or the mirror's broken, the clip on the notch on the front of the Dalek is broken, or something, or whatever. So there's lots of they do come up. There's usually something wrong with them, and we've had a few of these in the past, and we generally have had things wrong with them when we've had them. This particular one, though, there's nothing wrong with it. It's in full working condition. The appendages are all in place. All of the pages are intact. There's no tears or rips to any of the pages. The Dalek functions well, the magnets are working, and the mirror has moved slightly. So at some point in its life, it's been stuck down with sellotape. I don't know if I just get that up and show you. Along the edges, there's sellotape there, which is holding the mirror into position, because they do have a tendency to move. Because they were only ever stuck down with a little piece of glue, and they had the glue obviously dries out after a while on cardboard, and it tends to move. So whoever had this game originally has stuck it down with tape to keep it in the right position. But whoever had it kept it in superb condition. So what can I say? So to answer the question, they don't come up for sale very often on the platforms, and when they do, there is generally something wrong with them, or they are at a colossal amount of money. So if you are looking to buy one of these on a platform, be very careful, because you really want to make sure that what you think you're buying is what you're going to get. So have a very good look at the item before you actually place the order. Make sure you look at the used item pictures and not stock pictures, which could be on the front of the page. Anyway, so they don't come up very often. When they do, just be a little bit careful that what you're ordering is exactly what you think you're ordering. Or alternatively, we at Midas Touch have managed to find this particular one. We do only have the one in stock at the moment, but this one is currently available on the Midas Touch website, which you can get to quite simply by clicking the link below. It will take you straight to the website, where you'll be able to find this and many other vintage Doctor Who items, and many other vintage toys, games and collectibles come to that. There's over 10,000 products currently available on the website for you to view and purchase at your leisure. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button, because we're uploading videos for every new item that goes into the website, and there will be something for everybody. And I'm absolutely positive that it's something you won't want to miss, because we literally have thousands and thousands of new products which we're shooting videos for and uploading on a daily basis. So if there's something in particular you're looking for, something old that you've never been able to find, something quirky that you might want to buy for a friend, or perhaps just something from your childhood that you'd like to own again to help you recuperate those long lost childhood memories, well, stay tuned, keep watching, because you never know, the next item we upload could be that item you've been looking for. Okay, that is it for me on this particular item. I do hope you've enjoyed reviewing this wonderful vintage Dalek game with me. Thank you for watching, and we will see you again next video. Bye for now.